am your trainer for today. I have around 12 years of experience in the whole EUC field, where I have worked on multiple projects in implementing SECM and Intune. So I have created Intune from scratch for the customers based on the requirements, and I have also customized and deployed multiple solutions from Intune for Windows, iOS, Android, and Mac OS. So basically, I am an Intune architect working in the CUC field for the past 12 years. So during my tenure, I have worked with multiple projects, transforming the legacy environment for the customer into a digital environment. So today we'll look into an introduction of so today we'll look into an introduction of Intune. What is Intune? What is the whole scope of Intune? And then we'll look Intune. What are the features of Intune? That is also something we'll go through. And after that, we'll have a short introduction on what is different aspects of Intune. So Intune is used to manage devices as well as application. So it will use to manage mobile devices. So mobile devices meaning any device which is not connected physically in a separate place. So you can manage mobiles, Windows laptops, Windows desktops, Android mobiles, iOS devices, iPads, and everything with Intune. This is the scope of the demo. Just wanted to check if there is any queries with respect to this particular introduction or any scope of the demo. I see there is some queries or questions about this. So we'll look into that on the later point of time. Before we actually start the demo with respect to Intune and other features of Intune, I'd like you to go through what this particular training or demo will cover. So after the completion of this training, you will be able to attend the MS10 exam and certification from Microsoft. This particular training will contribute to your certification as well. It will cover the aspects of the certification provided by Microsoft for Intune. And I have also added a link for the study guide which you can go through after this demo from the Microsoft, so that you have details on what this course is and the details on Intune and other aspects of Intune. So these two will be covered as part of the scope, the certification of MS102 and different aspects of Intune as well. This is the course outline which we'll go through as part of this training. We'll first look into what is Intune, how does Intune work, what is exactly the tool look like. Then we'll look into different features and different aspects of Intune. Then we will show you how to implement identity synchronization using Azure. Basically, how to manage your passwords, how to manage your security and authentication using Azure. Okay. So for the course outline, we will look into the Microsoft Intune at a glance. What does Intune look like? How the features of Intune are. And we'll also look into some of the aspects of Azure as well. So Intune and Azure are coupled together, more or less. One is dependent on another. So we will look into how the tenant is managed, how identity synchronization is being done. Okay. We'll look into compliance policy and conditional access policy as well as part of this course. These are the compliance policy which we'll be deploying through Intune, and how to manage the devices security using conditional access from Azure. We'll also look into how a device gets enrolled into Intune. We'll look into each and every device OS, that is Android, iOS, Windows, each and every device, how it needs to be enrolled into Intune. That we'll look into. And we also will look into how an application is getting deployed for all these operating system, and how patching will be done for Windows as well as part of this training course. We'll also look into device configuration and application protection policies. Basically, configuring each and every features of an end user device can be managed by Intune. And we will also look into how an application deployed into Intune will be managed and configured by Intune as well. towards the ending, we'll also look into M365 security, that is security of the whole M365 suite, that is your Exchange, SharePoint, Teams, and everything. And we'll also look into security of your endpoints, that is Windows devices, through Microsoft Defender, how we can manage end user security, end user device security. So this is a brief about what all topics the course will cover, and we'll look into each and every topic. We'll show you through screenshots how each and every configuration is being done. As Microsoft has stopped support for free lab via Azure. So this is, before we go into the project use cases, I will show you, I'll start the demo on each and every topic. 1 second. So this is an introduction on how, what is Intune, what are the features of Intune, how Intune works, those kind of details. I'll go it one by one. So Intune, what is Intune? Intune is an cloud management tool, basically a SaaS solution given by Microsoft, which is completely cloud. And this is used to manage mobile devices and application with zero trust model, meaning it does not trust it does not trust any incoming user authentication or incoming device authentication without any proper approval or authentication. So Microsoft, this is a Microsoft solution completely over cloud, which is capable enough to manage each and every device as well as application. And it is completely cloud, meaning you can access user devices even when they are connected to plain internet over if the user is sitting at a coffee shop, if user is sitting at his home, everywhere, anywhere in the world, you can configure the device using Intune as well as manage them without any prerequisite that user should be sitting in office. This is a very useful tool, keeping the current hybrid environment in mind, where users are mostly working from home. So this is the power of Intune, where you can control the access of data, control the access of devices wherever the user is sitting without any requirement that user should. So this is a glance into Microsoft Intune, what the tool looks like, what all the tool is capable of doing. So the tool is capable of doing remote hybrid working, reporting the data. It can integrate with existing Microsoft tools like Azure and other, Microsoft Defender, M365 solution, SCCM, which is another tool by Microsoft called System Center Configuration Manager. This is also capable of integrating with that tool as well. Apart from that, Microsoft Intune, like I told earlier, is capable of deploying applications, managing security, and compliance of the device using conditional access and compliance policy. Where this is also useful for companies where they follow bring your own device policy. So it is capable enough to manage the personal device for the user, as well as making sure the device follows company standard in terms of security, without affecting any end user end user data or data privacy, without compromising any data privacy with the end user's personal device. Intune is capable of handling or managing the end user devices, that is bring your own device. Okay. Now, going into the other aspects of Intune, it can also manage your security for end user devices. It can also manage your VPN and Microsoft Tunnel. And this is a completely web-based admin center. You don't need to log into any server, log in to have any VPN or anything to go into the server or anything. You just have to have an internet connection and a browser to access these Intune console as an admin. So that makes the life of an admin very much easier, and also makes the life of an admin easier in terms of managing these devices over open internet. Okay. So these are the different features of Microsoft Intune. Moving on, these are the strategic benefits of the Intune tool, which your strategic benefits of Intune your organization gets as part of implementing this Intune. So what all Intune can do. So basically Intune is categorized into two categories, that is mobile device management and your mobile application management. So what is mobile device management? So mobile device management is managing your complete device. So basically, the device, irrespective of the device being your personal device or your company owned device, if you enroll your device into Intune, Intune will manage complete device from its side. So it's basically will become an super admin for your device. It will have the capability to push any application, restrict your device, block personal devices, and it also will have access to security and protection as well. So if the device is lost, it can even track the device. This is all features of an mobile device management. So basically, Intune will manage your device. So when the device is enrolled into Intune, uh, the device, the Intune will become the super admin of the device. It will create a profile in your device. It will have admin access and it can control your device remotely. Then there is the second feature of Intune called mobile application management. So the mobile device management, before I move on, is applicable for all operating system, Windows, Mac, Android, iOS, each and every operating system. You can enroll into Intune and manage via Intune. Same holds true for mobile application management as well. So basically, mobile application management is you don't manage the device, you manage only the application. That's the company application, company Outlook, company Excel, and company Word, etc. You can choose. There are more than 800 plus applications which Microsoft support. You can choose among that which application you need controlling on, and based on the application, you can define policies. So this is useful where users are having their own devices, but company wants to ensure there is security allocated along with it. So that is called mobile application management. So basically, whenever, for example, you want users to access your company Outlook, but do not want users to copy text or pictures or anything from Outlook to the personal device, you can deploy a policy. So the policy will prevent the user from copying the data from Outlook to your WhatsApp or your desktop or anything. And it will also prevent users from downloading the attachments from your Outlook to your personal device. So this is basically very useful when there is some BYODs in a. Okay, so now you can see the different features of Intune, that is mobile device management and mobile application management, with which you can manage the devices and also manage only the application if it is required. Okay. Moving on, I wanted to show you how the Intune works. So basically, on a simple layman terms, how an Intune concept works. Okay. So what does Intune do? So Intune, what it does is it enables users to access company resources across various devices. 10 years before or 5 years before, there is an, what is it, there was not this feature available or this feasibility to access company data outside companies' building. So basically, you needed to have either company desktop or a company laptop to access your Outlook, Word or Excel or anything outside the company building. You needed to have a company assigned laptop. Now with Intune, you can access company's data irrespective of where you are and what device you're using. Whether you're using an iPad, whether you're using an Android device, iOS device, whatever the OS version of an device is, you can access the data anywhere in the world. And it also is a simple registration. It's not a complex registration process where you have to install separate OS, separate policies and stuff. All you have to do is simply register the device to Intune. Company will push its own policies to Intune, and based on that, you can basically enable the users to access company data anywhere in the world. Or what other things Intune does is unifying your environment. It unifies your on-premise environment with your cloud-based environment. So basically, if you have an on-premise environment that is your own data centers or with your own VPN and other things currently set up, it will respect the on-premise environment and sync it with cloud. So it's not like you have an existing data center and you have an existing on-premise environment. and you cannot migrate to cloud, or you have to completely remove your on-premise environment and migrate to cloud. With Intune, you can keep your on-premise environment, also control your devices through Intune through an hybrid model. And it also protects your data, meaning it protects your corporate data on any of the devices it is installed on or it's being used. If you feel your corporate data is being threatened, you can very well wipe the data from the device or from the application without even physically having access to the device. You can do everything remotely. All you have to do is push a button and all the corporate data, the compromised data will be removed from the compromised device. If it is being stolen or it's being used by an untrusted employee or something like that, you can completely protect your data. Okay. Then this is an overview on how Intune works. It will enable users to access your corporate data anywhere in the world, and it will make sure that the data, corporate data, is protected even though user is using a personal device. So this is how an implementation of an Intune usually works like. That is, you set up an Intune using custom domains, users and groups. So basically, you set up an Intune tenant inside your Azure, and you add users and groups either directly to Intune or it will sync directly from Azure. After that is done, Intune has a separate license which is required. You assign that to the users, and then you start configuring the policies, you start pushing the application, start enrolling the devices. So prerequisite, basically, you need an internet connection and an Intune license. That's the main basic thing you need as an admin to configure the Intune tenant. Once you have the licenses, you start assigning this to the users and you can start configuring the Intune tenant. So this is an overview of integration and compatibility, which Intune does. So with Intune, you can basically integrate with any of the other Microsoft tools, be it M365, your autopilot, your Copilot, your on-premise environment, data centers and everything you can integrate. You can also integrate with Azure and other things as well. So these are the different tools which Intune can integrate to, so that you have a seamless environment and migration. So after this is an in brief introduction on how Intune works and what Intune does, different features of Intune. So towards the last, I will go through on a basic requirement how an application is being deployed via Intune. Okay. So once we enroll the device into Intune, we basically have to push an application to Intune. So today we are going to see in how an Office application, Office 365 application, will be pushed from Intune to the Windows devices. Okay. So before you push an application, these are the access you need as an admin to the to the Intune console before you push the application. And users needs to have either E3 or E5 license so that they have the Intune E3, E5 or Business Premium. These are the three licenses which is supported with Intune license. User needs to be assigned with the license. Then the admin needs to be an Intune admin or a global admin to deploy this application. You need to have Windows 10 or 11 above creators update. The Windows version should be about that so that it gets installed. And it also, if there is any Office application running, it will make sure that that is ended before it gets installed. Okay. So before you actually install the application, you need to prepare the application. As an admin, what you have to do is when you go to Intune console, you have an app application section on the left. Just have to click that. On the right, it will show you Windows application. So as we are deploying an application to Windows, the Office application, you need to click on Windows apps. And inside that, you will have an option called Windows 10 or later. You will have multiple options. You need to select Windows 10 or later so that you are going to deploy the M365 application into Windows 10. Once that is selected, if you click on the next, it will show you the details to be filled in. Office 365 application is an inbuilt application within Intune. As it's a Microsoft application, it is directly added into Intune by Microsoft. So when you select the Microsoft 365 application in the previous screen, you will see that the name, description, the category and everything is already pre-populated. So these are already added via Microsoft when you select this application into the form which needs to be filled before you create the deployment for the device. Okay, you can start. So, okay, moving on. So this is, as Microsoft 365 is an inbuilt application within Microsoft, all the details are basically populated for you directly when you select the kind of application you want to deploy. So basically the suite name and suite description are mandatory fields. So wherever there is a star there, if you see on the screen, that means it's a mandatory field and you need to fill that by force. So suite name or suite description are self-explanatory. You can give any name you want and any description you want. This is again something only related to admin. This is not related to end user. End user will not, this is both for end user and as well as admin. So when you deploy an application, end user will see this name and description in the company portal. Okay, I'll tell you what a company portal is when you come to that. Next is a publisher. As it's a default Microsoft application, it's directly selected as Microsoft. If you are deploying a custom application, which is not Microsoft, like Chrome or Mozilla Firefox or anything like that, the publisher will have to be filled by you. The category, you can assign different categories to the application. Based on this category, the admin can sort the application in the admin console. Then there is a small toggle button, yes or no, called company portal to show the application is company portal. So company portal is an application. Many of you would have used that in your life previously, but it's an Play Store like an application created by Microsoft. It's a small application where it show up there. It's an in-house Play Store kind of an application by Microsoft. Once installed in your device, basically any Android, iOS, or Windows device or Mac device, the application which you mentioned here as yes will be shown in the company portal for the users to install it by themselves. If you want to install it by forcefully to the user without asking them to install, you can select this option as no. Okay. Information URL, privacy URL is something, it's an optional field. You can add it, or if you don't want to add it, you can leave it blank. As it's a Microsoft application, it is added directly in the application. This is particularly information URL, privacy URL. Each organization will have its own. You can add that as well. Developer and owner, it's basically Microsoft. It's an non-changeable field here. But if you are deploying a custom application, you will have an option to fill this as well. Here, logo, you can add a logo, whatever logo you want here, so that that logo is showcased to the end user in the company portal. Okay, so this is the details on each and every field here where we need to fill. Next, once once you select the application and click on next, so basically once you fill all these fields here, you'll have an option to click on next. Click on next. Next field, you will have option of configuration designer and an XML. Okay. Configuration designer is the basic setting you need to select as an admin, which will give you an UI for you to select different applications. Rather than having an XML file, you can have an UI where you can select each and every application you need to deploy. So when you select a configuration designer, then you will have an option to select Office application, meaning whatever Office application you need, you can select from the drop down and you can install. Either it be, if you want to install only Word, you can select Word. If you want to install only Excel, you can select Excel, or you can use any, you can select whatever Office application you need to install. You can also select the complete suite if you require directly from Intune here. The second is Office, select other Office application. This is an option if you want to install, what to say, Microsoft project and Microsoft Visio. This is something you want to install. You have to select it separately other than the basic Office applications like Word, Excel, Outlook, Teams, and etc. Okay. Next is the architecture. You want to select 32-bit or 64-bit. Then there is the update channel. What update channel you want? So basically, whether you want to install the latest update channel, whether you want to install the non-latest application, whether you want to install one version below the latest version, you can select those kind of selections here. And you can also select whether you want to remove the older versions before installing the newer version. That option is also available. Then you have to select how the license is being assigned, whether it's a shared computer, whether it's a computer used by single user or multiple user. That is where you select use shared computer activation. So basically, if the device is used by multiple people, it will use the shared computer activation so that single Office application is being used successfully by multiple users. Then the next option is accept Microsoft terms. If you click on yes, it will accept the terms on your behalf. If you click on no, it will prompt user to accept the license, Microsoft license agreement. Then next is Bing. So the search option will be in the background for these Office applications as Bing. If you don't want that, you can change that as well. The last option is languages. If you want to install multiple languages to the end user, you can select that as well, where you can install other French, Spanish, Norwegian, those kind of offices. You can select that language will be installed along with English. English will be the default one, but it will also install multiple language packs, which users can change as and when they require. So once you complete the configuration, if you see here, you can select whatever update you need, what kind of architecture you need, those kind of things. Once that is selected and you click on next, the next would be an option to deploy the application. So basically, you can deploy the application to a group of users or a group of devices. Okay, you can create, and there are three types of deployment you have. That is required, available, and uninstall. When you add a group to the required field, the application will be installed forcefully to the end user. And when you click on, or when you add a group to the available option, the company portal, which I told you earlier, the application will be available there and users can use it or install it themselves. And third option is uninstall. So if you want to uninstall any Office which is already installed in the device, you can add the group to uninstall section. So basically, the only rule is if you are adding a group to uninstall, the same device should not be added to required. So what happens is if the same device is present in both required and uninstall, the device, the application, it will create a conflict and it will give you an error. So when you are adding an device or a user to the uninstall group, make sure that the device is not part of the required section. So after you choose these options, you create review and create, and it will give you a summary of what all you selected, the logos, the architecture and stuff, and it will give you an option to create. After that,